Welcome to Ruler for Families. We're here to talk about what's needed at home and share some perspectives from schools and families. I'm Robin Stern. I'm the Associate Director and the co-founder of the Yale Center for Emotional Intelligence. I'm a psychoanalyst in private practice. I've been working with families for 25 years, and I'm proud to say that I'm a mom. Catherine?
Yeah, my name is Catherine Lee, and I direct our efforts to engage families in Ruler. Prior to coming to the center 9 years ago, I worked in schools probably for 30 years in California. And in all of my roles, from a classroom teacher to director of service learning to being a lead administrator at a school, a thread that connected all was that I loved building trusting relationships with families and empowering them to really be engaged with their children's learning.
And Catherine is also a mom.
And I'm a mom.
Thanks, Catherine. So we're going to start with our time about families with a quote that we hope you'll like from Maya Angelou. As you grow older, you will discover that you have two hands, one for helping yourself and the other for helping others. Thank you, Maya Angelou. The Ruler team has been working to serve families in meaningful ways for many years, and we're pivoting now to include families from the very beginning of when we roll out the Ruler approach in every school. Right now, we're going to share with you from the focus groups we've been conducting over the last year, what we're hearing from educators and parents, and what we're thinking of offering next. We'll ask you for your ideas, and we hope that you'll be active participants in this conversation by telling us in the chat room what you're thinking about as we're telling you what we're thinking about.
So we'll share a few of the findings from our focus groups. One is that parents are excited about Ruler and they want more opportunities to learn specific strategies that they can apply at home. And as Robin said, everybody wants family engagement to begin sooner. The schools that already have tried and true pathways for engaging families did find it easier, and they really excelled at providing learning opportunities for parents and for making emotional intelligence meaningful and relevant in the home. Modifications to video themes. Many people thought that they could be more grounded and relevant to family life, so we'll be curious to hear what you have to say about that. And that parents and other caregivers really do want opportunities to connect with one another about the tools and the practices so that they can create deeper and more personalized learning experiences and so that they can build community among themselves.
So based upon the focus group findings, here's our opportunity, and we're going to tell you our plan. We plan to raise the visibility of Ruler for Families while people are training the implementation teams that will go out to your school and work with your educators and families. We're going to train and coach existing Ruler implementation teams, the ones who've already gone through our training in family engagement. How do we enhance it? We're going to engage families robustly, as we've been saying, from the beginning. Phase one, as all the adults are in the school are being trained, so too will families be trained. To create a series of videos introducing key ideas and practices. This is what today is largely about. We'll present the ideas for the videos and ask you for your feedback and your thoughts about it. And as Catherine said, importantly, we aim to encourage families to connect, to share, and to learn together. And we'll offer some ways for that to happen. We love your feedback on these series of 3 to 4 minute videos. Think about it. Would you as a parent watch these videos or the particular video that we're presenting one at a time? Would your parents and caregivers watch the videos? And in the conversation in the chat room, we really welcome your thoughts. We want your feedback so that we can make them as relevant to your school community as possible.
Great, so here's the proposed video number 1, permission to feel. And this is the general idea that many of us have grown up not allowing the feelings that we have and instead burying those feelings, especially when they're unpleasant. When we give ourselves permission to feel without judgment, we come to know what's going on inside and we begin to learn more about our emotional life. What do you think? Does that sound like a topic that would be interesting for your families? Would you talk about it and describe it in a different kind of way? Just let us know.
Proposed video number 2, be an emotion scientist. Emotions are information and they matter. We have emotions all the time, and we can learn a lot from knowing what our emotions tell us. And then we use that information to inform and strengthen our relationships, to help us make wiser decisions, and to have overall well-being.
Number 3, what is emotional intelligence? So emotional intelligence is about being smart about our emotions in support of our goals. It includes the mindsets that emotions matter and the skills of ruler, recognizing, understanding, labeling, expressing, and regulating emotions.
Proposed video number 4, behaviors do not equal emotions. Understanding children's behaviors. Emotions are how we feel. Behaviors are what we do with our feelings, how we show them on the outside. And the way we show them is unique to each one of us. Think about it. Often a child might look distracted and spaced out in a classroom situation when really feeling sad, lonely, and anxious on the inside. The only way to truly know what someone else is feeling is to ask and listen deeply.
And that takes us to proposed video number 5, listening deeply. That's really a big part of the idea of being an emotion scientist. That deep listening is foundational for parents and caregivers, and that when we listen through the lens of an emotion scientist, that is with curiosity, without judgment, we have the potential to build more trusting relationships at home. So again, we'd love to know what you think about this, what you would add or change.
Empathy in action, proposed video number 6. When we're listening to others with empathy, we're putting ourselves in their shoes, and for a moment, sharing the way they see and or feel. The experience of doing that, of being in somebody else's shoes, allows that person to feel cared about deeply and understood, and helps us feel closer to the person we're listening to.
Number 7, name it to tame it. When we can be specific and therefore accurate about the emotion that we are experiencing or emotions, we can communicate more accurately, and we're more likely to feel seen and understood. And when we can identify our emotions and name our emotions, we're better able to manage those emotions.
The 4-step process of supporting children's emotion regulation, video 8. The 4 steps set yourself up for success means check in with yourself. Explore what happened with the child you're talking to. Strategize with them. And then follow up. When your goal is to help your children regulate emotions, you're checking in with yourself, adults first, will bring you to a place of calm so that you can validate their emotions. You can listen to what happened. You can help them problem solve and strategize what they can do next when the conversation is over, including reassuring them that you're going to follow up.
And this is proposed video number 9 that has to do with creating an emotionally supportive climate at home. Your children are watching you and listening to you every day. So be sure to talk about your feelings and ask your children about their feelings so that everyone knows emotions matter in all aspects of life, including at home, and that emotions have a seat at every table. So this would be related, of course, to the charter, but the big picture is just understanding how we're creating an emotional climate all the time by how we're interacting with one another, and by how we're monitoring our own feelings and behaviors.
Healthy versus unhealthy emotion regulation, proposed video number 10. We all have lifelong habits of regulating our emotions. They happen automatically when we're under stress or when we want to calm down or rev up. Some are helpful and some are unhelpful. Learning helpful strategies to manage or regulate emotions takes practice and more practice. It's very popular and comfortable to talk about and even indulge in on unhelpful strategies, but over the long haul, not quite as effective at all. So tell us what you think about video number 10. So after listening to our video proposals, I really want to hear from you. What's most relevant for your lives at home and in the classroom? What topics would you add or change? What do you most wish you could offer your families? What do you think they most need? We need to ensure that Ruler brings families along, as we said from the very beginning, and that schools are committed to actively including families in meaningful ways. We can begin engaging families right away.
And that parents need opportunities to connect with one another so that they can learn together, they can feel less isolated with some of the challenges that they have at home, and that you begin to build that community within your school around Ruler skills. So thank you. We're eager to hear your thoughts. We'll be available on March 9th between 1 and 3, and we hope that you'll drop in and we can have further conversation. If you have anything else that you'd like to write in an email or you can't make it, this is my email address and I'm always happy to hear from you. Thank you.
Thanks very much for joining us.